Hey VC, I'm finally back again with another video. Today's video is going to be a contest entry for Rod at the Happy Hippy Vinyl Guy. I think I've got that right. Admittedly, I didn't actually know of Rod's channel until about an hour ago, as I came across it via David Newton, another great YouTube channel. Check him out. Talked with him a couple of times on Instagram. Really nice guy, into his horror, that sort of thing. But yeah, Rod is doing a contest for in celebration of hitting 420 subscribers. I don't believe he's doing this because of drugs, let's say. He's doing it because I believe it's his home address, so he just thought it'd be a nice fitting time to do it. So yeah, I went back and watched Rod's video in announcing this contest. Admittedly, I'm mainly doing this just to get my face back out there and show everyone that I'm not dead. Not that anyone cares, but I'm just doing this to reintroduce myself to VC, let's say, as I mainly stopped doing videos about 7 months ago because I didn't think I had enough records to warrant a record channel. I figured that I'd just be showing the same records over and over again, and for a YouTube channel that's not really ideal. And given that this contest only requires you to show one record, I thought it'd just be a nice way to get myself back out there. So here we go. Rod's first question is, shout out a local record store. I'm currently in Huddersfield for university. We've only got one record store here, unfortunately. Huddersfield, for those that don't know by the way, is in West Yorkshire in the UK. We've got a HMV as well, but I'm not sure if we could count that as a strict record store. But yeah, Vinyl Tap, it's spread over 2 floors, one of which closed last year for some reason. I think they might be refurbishing, something like that. I had my first record store day there last year, really good, really fun. The people in there are nice enough, records are reasonably priced, so Vinyl Tap Records in Huddersfield. I would also like to give a shout out to Wawa Records in Wakefield. Really nice store, it's really small but it's really nice. I think it's been open 2 or 3 years. I forget the name of the guy that runs it, but he's always on Instagram and Facebook promoting his business and that sort of thing. Because of the recent pandemic, he's also started sending records out. I'm not sure whether he does it globally, but he's doing it throughout the UK. And he's just a really nice guy, and it really deserves the business because he always seems to be struggling quite a lot financially. So if you can give him some love, then please do. And so that's Wawa Records in Wakefield. Question 2, recent vinyl find. I got my student loan a couple of weeks ago, my final one, and so I thought I'd splash out a bit. Didn't buy too much, but the record that came last is the one I'm about to show, and it's Parma Violets and their, I think it's debut album, and I think it's their only album, although they might have 2, I don't know. But for those that don't know, Parma Violets, an indie group, sort of garagey, sort of. I really like them because they're on Rough Trade Records, which is the label which brought the Smiths to the world. But yeah, really good, very indie. It's the sort of band that Rob Walker would like, I think. Russ Goodall as well, I think he might like these guys. Very guitar driven, very passionate about what they do. They're no longer together, unfortunately. I'd say that they were influenced by the early Arctic Monkeys, maybe. I get that vibe from the Inner Sleeve. It seems sort of seems like an ode to the Arctic Monkeys debut Inner Sleeve as well. And it also came with a free CD of the album as well. Really cheap. I got it off eBay about a week ago. It was about a tenner and £3 delivery, so it's really good deal. The singer reminds me of Chris Martin a bit, and don't let that put you off. It don't go as high pitched as Chris Martin sometimes does, but his singing style just seems a bit. I can draw parallels between them, but it's really good. I'd really check them out. The first 2 songs on the album are probably the best 2, Best of Friends and Step Up for the Cool Cats. They're available on Spotify, so definitely give them a stream. But I definitely recommend checking out this album, it's brilliant. Next question, show a music book. I'm going to show 2, but the first one is Just Kids by Patti Smith. I've been reading quite a lot lately. and this is one of the books that got me back into reading. It's absolutely fantastic. It details her from her childhood up to being about the age of 30. I'm not entirely sure, to mid to late 80s, I think. And it just details her getting with this chap who was called, I think it's Robert Mapplethorpe. I might have got that wrong. I think it was Robert though. And it just details how she got into the music business, and details a lot of difficulties in her life and how they coped and that sort of thing. And you know, it details times that she met Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix and Bob Dylan, and this is before she'd released any albums or anything. It's really quite astounding, this book, and it's really interesting. So for those that are interested in Patti Smith and her life, definitely check this one out. It's brilliant. What I'm currently reading is Vinyl Countdown by Graham Sharp. This seems to be a bit of an autobiography of his experiences of vinyl in his life. He talks about all record stores he's been to, his addiction to vinyl, what sort of records he owns. I think he details how many records he's got specifically on the front cover. There you go, I think you might be able to read that a bit better. The amount of singles and that sort of thing. But it's brilliant. I'm only about 80 pages in, but from what I've read so far, I'm really enjoying it. I believe it's available online, so check it out. Next question asks, show music DVD stroke film. I'm going to show one which I've not actually watched yet, although it is for a band which is one of my favourites. This is Control by about Joy Division. Sorry, I believe it's just a biopic about Ian Curtis and Joy Division. There's a good reason for why I'm not watching it, although I keep meaning to. Joy Division are one of them bands to me that seem almost sacrosanct. It'd be almost a sin to try and impersonate them or try and be what they were. Admittedly, this is just a biopic, but I feel as though I'm just going to, throughout the film, watch it and think, that's not Ian Curtis, that's not Joy Division, and that sort of thing. So that's why I've not been watching it, although I will get round to it eventually. I'm just trying to pluck up the courage towards it. But Peter Hook famously recommended this DVD and said it was quite good. So I will get round to it eventually, but for a music DVD, I'm going to show Control. Lastly, Rod wants us to recommend a channel on the VC, and in nominating that channel on the VC, they actually get input into the contest as well. So for that, I'm going to nominate Ross Goodall. For those that don't know, Ross has been in the VC for many years. He's actually one of the reasons I started buying vinyl itself and then making a YouTube channel. Ross is up in Scotland. I've met with him a couple of times for record fairs and that sort of thing. Absolutely great guy. He puts a hell of a lot of effort into his videos. He often does album reviews in which he goes through all the songs, rates them out of 10, and then, you know, gives his opinions on each song and that sort of thing. Really great guy, and so I'm going to nominate Rob for that. Not Rob. Ross, apologies. And yeah, that's why I've chosen him, really, because he's just a great guy. And if you don't know of his channel, which you should, definitely check him out. I'll put a link down in the description to his channel. So that's Ross Goodall. And that's the end of the video. I'd just like to congratulate Rod again for hitting 420 subscribers. Apologies that I didn't know of your channel before this. Like I said, I'm mainly doing this just to get my face back into the VC. But yeah, absolutely great stuff, and I hope to see you all again soon. So thanks for watching. See you later.